Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Thomas and today is all about blood work. Something a little bit different than what I'm normally used to. As you can see on the screen here, I have my blood test results. So last week I was talking about how I had my annual physical at work, and Christian told me, or he asked me if I had blood work done as well. And I told him, yep, I did blood work, but I was just waiting for the results because they were coming in. So this is basically what I had done. So I've tried to give you guys as much of the screen as I can here. So I had my blood work split up into three parts. So I had the GHP panel, which as you can see over here on the right, a GHP lab test can refer to either a general health panel or a gut health profile. A GHP gut general health panel is a routine blood test that screens for a wide range of health issues by measuring things like blood sugar, kidney function, liver function, electrolytes, and blood cell count. So basically what it is, it's common and comprehensive screening blood test to get a baseline of your overall health. Basically what that means is they take some of your blood, they look at it, analyze it, break it apart, tear it down, see what's inside, and that gives them an overall idea of how your health looks. And that's what I did. So there's a lot of things that, you know, that kind of stick out to me, a few things that kind of jump out to me before. So what you can see here, right here, for example, I have my 2024 results, and I've got my 2025 results right here beside it. For some reason, there were, I think just two that I weren't able to get my test performed on for some reason. I'm not sure why, but my results are here. So the reason it's on the Excel spreadsheet, it was the easiest way. I wasn't sure how to kind of mesh the two together, but I guarantee you these are the levels, the measures that I got. These are the values that I see. So just so you know, this is how it looks. So I had three tests. So I had the GHP panel, I had a lipid panel, and an HbA1c panel. So we'll go into those here in a minute, but just to take a look. So we've got our glucose. Again, unfortunately, that was not, the test was not performed in 2025 for some reason, but in 2024, I was at 82. So kind of slap bang in the middle, right where I should be. BUN, again, there's a bunch of these stuff that I don't understand. And what I will try and do maybe in the description is I'll try and put detailed descriptions of what each one of these means. And then, like I said, you can just reference that in the, hopefully in the description. So I was at 15 in 2024 and I am 14 at 2025. Again, I was kind of on the closer end to a little bit high last year. This year I dropped down a point. Creatinine from 0.86 to 0.97, kind of closer to the center, right, of where I should be. eGFR from 121 to 108. My values should be at about 59 to I think 1.73. I'm not understanding what that means. Maybe, again, I'll take a look at that one in a little bit more detail. Creatinine ratio, or BUN creatinine ratio, is 17 in 2024, and this year it is 14. So from 9 to 20, that's the range I should be in. And dropping down 3 points, that puts me just a little bit closer into the center. Again, I don't know if this is good, or like if this is better, if I want to be like closer to the center. I feel like that's a good baseline. Last year I was given notes. This year I either wasn't given them or they just haven't come through yet. I apologize. I'm really not feeling well today. I think I've got some kind of flu or something that's going around, just feeling like absolute death. So protein total, we went from 7.3 down to 6.9. Albumin from 4.8 to 4.7. Globulin total from 2.5 to 2.2. Bilirubin total from 0.9 to 0.7. Alkaline phosphatase 64 down to 54, so that's a 10-point drop. AST, SGOT from 2023. Again, I kind of went from dead center to just a little bit up above that. ALT, SGPT. Again, I'm going to try and find the descriptions for all these and put them down into the description below. TSH from 1.52 to 2.49. My WBC 5.1 to 4.2. There's a lot of things here. So basically, one of the things that kind of really stuck out to me here is you're looking at your, you're looking at the numbers here, and I've got to admit, these don't mean a whole lot to me. I am trying to learn a little bit more about it. I used to work in a field where I had to measure blood sugar levels, so glucose levels, and I'm a little upset that I didn't get to see that value a little bit more. But it is interesting to see because in 2024 I was still right around 200 pounds, I believe, or 207. But that was, of course, with my clothes on. So I think I was right around overweight. So no longer obese, but overweight. And so a bunch of these values are looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy to see that. So the values here seem to be overall very, very good. As you can see, even in 2024, I wasn't in any sort of red line state. All of these are looking pretty good, but I believe it's my lipid panel. We'll take a look over here now. So yeah, okay, so lipid panel is a lot shorter. So let's take a look here. You'll see red right off the bat here. A lipid panel is a blood test that measures the levels of various fats, lipids in the bloodstream. It is used to assess the risk of cardiovascular disease by evaluating the following components: total cholesterol, the overall amount of cholesterol in the blood, low density lipoprotein, LDL cholesterol, bad cholesterol, accumulates in the arteries and increases the risk of heart disease. High density lipoprotein, HDL cholesterol, good cholesterol, helps remove LDL cholesterol from the bloodstream. So that's what we want. That's kind of carting it off, sending it out. And triglycerides, a type of fat stored in the body that can contribute to cardiovascular disease if levels are too high. So so we've seen some pretty significant changes here. This is kind of the one that I've been really excited to share. So in 2024, as you can see, so our values were quite a bit higher. If you look down at 2025, our values are quite lower where we want them to be and quite higher, again, where we want them to be as well. So these were results from just last week before now, I guess now. Values, cholesterol, back then, the total value was 164, now I'm down to 144. So my number there, I was going from the slightly above that kind of cushion good bit to a little bit closer to the 199 milligrams per deciliter that I wasn't, I want to stay again closer to the center. That's where I'm happy. And now I'm down to 144. So quite a bit better there. My triglycerides. So the triglycerides, as we saw here, a type of fat stored in the body that can contribute to cardiovascular disease if levels are too high. So I went from 81, I dropped that down quite a bit actually, so down to 37. So the level there was still not high by any means. I wasn't in the red zone, but now I've dropped down to a very good level, a much lower level for my triglycerides. I'm glad to see that because that hopefully is an indicator that I'm much safer in terms of my overall risk. But we'll take a look down here in just a second. So my HDL cholesterol. So this is the good cholesterol. This is the high density lipoprotein. Helps remove LDL cholesterol from the bloodstream. So that's taking that bad stuff, the bad crap out. So we went from 45 in 2024, which is just kind of above the healthy level. So the healthy level is greater than 39. So now I'm up to 59. So I gained 14 milligrams per deciliter. So that's good. That's what we want. We want that number up higher. So for VLDL cholesterol, I went from 15 to 9. I'm not sure what the meaning of that is. Again, I'll try and find the meanings for that and put that down in the description for you guys down below. And then this is the one I'm really proud of, really excited about. So last year, that was the one area that was kind of red line that was showing up to me and saying, ooh, not too great. So that was my LDL cholesterol, the bad cholesterol. So we went from 104, and that was considered high because I was above the 0 to 99 milligrams per deciliter level. And I was able to drop that down 28 points to a healthier range. So I'm very happy to see that. That is a number that I am very happy with, very content with. And then no comments here from the LDL calculation comments, so that's, I'm happy with that. Total cholesterol to HDL ratio went down from 3.6 to 2.4. And so let's just take a look down here. So basically, so for men and for women, so let's take a look. So my cholesterol here last year, if I was at half of the average risk, my level would be 3.4. That would be where I was. Last year, I was at 3.6, so just above half of the average risk. If I'm understanding this correctly, so the half of the average risk is 3.4, and I was at 3.6. So I was sitting in a pretty good shape because I was far below average, which is good. We want that. We want to be far below in this case. And now I've dropped even further. I'm now down to 2.4. So I don't know what that means in terms of maybe a quarter of average risk. I don't know. I don't want to speculate. But that is good. That means we're moving in an overall positive trend here. And so I think with that being said, let's move on over to the HbA1c panel. Very short, very easy. HbA1c panel is a blood test that measures your average blood sugar, glucose levels over the past 2 to 3 months. So basically, it's kind of like you can't really hide it because it's taking your overall levels, your average levels over the past 2 to 3 months. So if I was, binging or whatever, if you're binging whatever, and you do this test, it pulls from a fair amount of time. So it's not super easy. It is used to diagnose prediabetes and diabetes and to monitor how well diabetes is being managed in those who already have it. A high HbA1c level indicates that the average blood sugar has been high over that period, which is great. So because if you look here, so the reference range is between 4.8 and 5.6. So I'm actually a little bit sort of on the lower side of the good side. I don't know, again, if my logic is flawed here of trying to be sort of in the middle of the range. I don't know if that's the right way to think about it. But when I talk to my doctor, because like I said, I've been getting these levels in kind of sort of being drip fed to me. So I can actually reach out and see what happened there. If that's what I should be going for or not. So I will let you guys know from what happens there. So basically, yeah, this is my blood health. This is my blood test. Christian, you asked for this. You wanted to see what it looks like. I hope that this is helpful to you. Ooh, that you probably wouldn't be able to see that one too well. Let's see if we can zoom in a little bit. I want to try and have it so you can see everything here. Again, I apologize if you can't see that too well, but there's everything out there. You can take a look, have it all on one sheet. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate you guys supporting the channel. This is just focused purely on the blood test results this week. And yeah, we'll be back to the updates and all that jazz next week. So yeah, take care. Thank you all, and goodbye for now. Bye-bye.